match types in the WWE that should return. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, with the rumored CM Punk Drew McIntyre strap match coming back, we figured, and I guess Braun and Sammy 2 out of 3 falls.
Yep.
And the special guest referee.
Yep.
What other matches do we want to see come back?
Yeah, dude, it's been so great lately. It's a breath of fresh air to see that type of stuff back in WWE. It really, really is. Like, special guest referee has always held a special place in my heart. It's always good storytelling. The idea of a strap match coming back between CM Punk and Drew, woo. So, we're each going to just kind of list what matches we want to see come back. I'll go first.
Yeah, I'm going to give you first pick this time.
Speaking of Drew and Punk, I am so happy that they may do a strap match, but I wanted better. I wanted better, and I wanted this match to come back.
I hope you don't take the
3 stages of hell, man. 3 stages of hell need to come back in the WWE, and I feel like Bad Blood would have just been the perfect place to do it. 3 stages of hell. What was it? It ends with a Hell in a Cell match, but it's.
Yeah, I think they kind of played around with the idea,
right.
But like Table was in there, and
it always ended with the Hell in a Cell match, but you could kind of pick and choose the other.
And maybe like a street fight.
Yeah, it was like a street fight, or even it was like, I remember Table match being in there. Basically, it's 2 match types, so you could have a normal match, a table match, but then the last match happens inside the cell. That was always the coolest thing ever. It didn't happen very often, but when it did, man, it slapped. And I just think that a PLE returning like Bad Blood, man, that would have just been the icing on the cake.
Yeah. I think everybody kind of wants that one.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of fitting for that one. I'm going to go. There's a lot of ways I could go with this one. I'm going to go with this one. I guess didn't really see a ton of this one, but this one was more like a special place in my heart because of the video games growing up. So I'm going to go with the parking lot brawl. Like just like a backstage brawl, parking lot brawl.
Like an actual sanctioned match. The last time I feel like we got that was like kind of Velveteen Dream versus Gargano.
Adam Cole?
Or was it Adam Cole?
I think Adam Cole. They did the cinematic type thing.
Yeah, but it was like a parking lot.
Yeah.
They had a ring in the parking lot.
Yeah, that was like years ago. I like the old school shots of just like everybody huddled around and like the cars all lined around, with the lights and stuff. And then just like, I mean, who doesn't love powerbombing somebody onto like a windshield? Or like in the old games, you throw somebody on, the car bounces up and down, stuff like that. A little bit special place in my heart, like I said, because of the game. But I think there's some people that you could do that with now.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the backstage stuff we've seen, like spears through boxes and more kind of backstage violence we've seen.
Braun Strowman jumped off a freaking ambulance with Ricochet and put him through a...
Braun Breaker.
Yeah, sorry. Jesus. Braun Breaker killed Ricochet by doing exactly what you're saying here. Yeah. Jumped off an ambulance and destroyed him through a windshield. Dude, hell yeah. We need to bring those back.
Why not just get like 2 big old guys, like this would never happen, but just do like a Otis and a Braun Breaker. 2 big old meaty guys out there in a parking lot.
The argument against it is, well, the fans in the crowd don't get to even... They paid all that money to watch it on TV? It's like, fair. But also, screw you.
But you could also say that about multiple matches, like Falls Count Anywheres,
or any Fiend match.
Yeah.
They couldn't see thing.
I didn't expect that.
Speaking of the Fiend, we now have the Wyatt Six who are carrying the torch. So match that I want to see is a slash. It's a House of Horrors match / Firefly Funhouse. I would love to see the return of those 2 things. House of Horrors, I believe, was Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton back in like 17. They went at it throughout a house, and it was basically the first step toward the Firefly Funhouse, which we eventually saw with John Cena. But I mean, these guys are built for it. I mean, Firefly Funhouse was a highlight of probably the highlight of the pandemic era WrestleMania, and they now have the perfect group to do the exact same thing with other people. But we run into the exact same problem I just said. That crowds don't pay a lot of money to go watch a match happen on the screen. But I would still absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, and that one's very specific. I feel like we're going to get something like that.
Yes.
This wasn't on my list, but if something like that, I would think that maybe something specific for them as well that popped in my head is maybe like a Howdy, some sort of casket or buried alive type of match.
Yeah.
Those are synonymous, obviously, with Taker. I don't know who else has really competed on them besides Taker.
buried alive or casket.
But I feel like they're pretty synonymous. I'm sure there probably is, but Howdy is kind of like that new era, edgy underworld type character or different character.
Yep.
So you could have some type of twist like that with him and make it perfect for him. I thought of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, all three of the matches we just said, it's great to have a character or characters in the WWE that allow for us to even think that way again, because you can't just throw a buried alive. You can't just have, freaking Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes round 3 in a buried alive match to seal the deal, right? So I agree that one of those matches needs to come back just specifically to give the Wyatt Six something big.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a pretty specific one here as well, at least. I think you might know who, as when I start to talk about the match. I want a hair versus hair or a hair versus mask type match back.
Oh, Dom Ray.
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah.
Give me something like that. I mean, like Angle and Edge back at Mania. Just the visuals of that stuff. And I mean, what's more precious to Dom than his hair,
Can't save the mullet.
But Ray, obviously the mask, all that good stuff. So not really much else you need to say other than that. That would probably be like a third match. Like you have 2 pay-per-view matches of a feud and then it's
blow
like
off match.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Oh, for sure. Any of that type of stuff. I like stipulated matches and that sort of thing. Like if I win, I do this, or you do this, and if I lose,
Yeah, or a loser leaves town.
Yeah.
Something like that.
One simple one that I wanted to throw here, given the Netflix deal coming up, it's very simple. First Blood. If we're not going to do cutting guys open, we're not going to blade anymore, which is totally fine. I get it. I mean, I get that they can overdo it sometimes. And as much as I do like the blood in AEW and stuff, I do think that there are points where like, okay, they're just covered in blood and this takes all the point out of it. Mm-hmm. And then now we're in the era where like we know that WWE doesn't allow it. So when someone does catch an elbow and starts to bleed, it's a big moment. And that's cool. But given that Netflix is going to come up in January, they're not going to allow the rated, extremely rated R stuff that people think that WWE is going to do with it. Or they could do it, but WWE is not going to do it. Anyway, though, this is something that they could get their foot in with, and you could have a First Blood match, and Cody Rhodes would love to do that, right? Yeah. I mean, come on. And he'd bleed for it.
Yeah, bleed through the blonde hair. Yeah. I mean, that's just a great visual. Yeah, and that's something with that match is that's pretty spot on, pretty perfect for anybody.
Yeah.
You can have those with literally anybody. I went ahead with it's not that it's something that's missing or something that's gone away. I just feel like I've missed it personally, and I feel like we haven't seen it in a while. Could be wrong, but just a ladder match, just a one-on-one
with stakes.
You with like a title, just like an IC title match.
Completely agree.
For a ladder,
completely agree.
I feel like we've kind of reserved the ladder for Money in the Bank, and I get that.
Yep.
But there are 11 months out of the year that we could have a ladder match, and those led to some really good moments, some really big moments in WWE. I mean, you look at the history of ladder matches. They're usually pretty good. As long as you get 2 people in there that know what they're doing.
Oh, dude, and the IC title in a ladder match is synonymous with each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of is the biggest ladder matches in history when you think of the IC title and Shawn and them doing that. But, it just brings to my mind the recent Dom interview about how the original plans for the custody match were to hang him above the ring.
Yeah.
Could you imagine them doing that now with Liv and Rhea? I mean, Rhea hates him now and all that stuff, but... Good Lord, that would have been entertaining.
Can you think of the last person to be put above the ring like that?
Hornswoggle.
No.
Was Hornswoggle ever like that? It just came off my head.
I could be wrong in saying this, but I remember specifically this. I don't even remember what pay-per-view it was. James Ellsworth.
Oh my God. Yes, I do remember that. They put him in a cage.
Yep. Above the ring. They could have done that. They could have just done that.
Oh my God. Yes. This is a sort of on the same track as you saying that we'll reserve it just for Money in the Bank. And I've already brought up the Hell in a Cell once, but more than 2-man Hell in a Cell matches. Back in the day, we used to a couple times, we'd get like 6-man matches.
Like the Armageddon Hell in a Cell?
Like the Armageddon Hell in a Cell with Rikishi and Rock and Angle and all those boys, and Rikishi getting thrown off the top of the cell by Taker. Like, just chaos inside of that thing, man. Let's first off, let's stop painting it red. Stupid. Let's go steel like it used to be, and then put 6 guys in there. Put Judgment Day versus the Terror Twins in there. Stuff like that. Like, I need more than just a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and I would like for there to be just more chaos inside of it.
Yeah, last Hell in a Cell's Finn and Edge.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a bad taste in our mouth. I feel like you could have done something a little bit better. I'm gonna go with it's not a lost match or one that we need to bring back. It's a current match, but a tweak that I would add that I am mad that they have. Steel cage. I don't want pins and submissions. I just want escapes only.
And no freaking door.
Yeah, you could outlaw the door too. Just give me a steel cage, escape over the top. I missed that. It's so simple.
Oh, yeah, I know. Why? Why do we do steel cage matches if you could just freaking pin them? Well, so you can't have countouts and you can't run away. Okay, who runs away in the middle of matches? No one. No one runs away and just gets the count out in a match. I completely agree with you. It's been one of my biggest pet peeves for ever since it really started. And when they introduced the door, why is there a ref standing there just opening the door for you? What is that? There's no logic there. So I completely agree.
You do get some cool moments though when it's like person out the door and person down the cage. Who's gonna win? No. But yeah, I would much rather have just up, over, escape the cage.
Yeah, 100%. I got one more good one. One that we only saw a couple times, but I absolutely love it. Not for main card titles, but for every once in a while with the IC title or US title. I would love to see a championship scramble match. Back in the day, they used to do strict championship scramble matches where there'd be probably 5 or 6 guys and you would start 1-on-1, and every 5 minutes another guy would join the match. So you'd end up having 6 guys in the ring, but throughout the match, so if there's 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, if somebody got the pin, you were the interim champion. So you were champion of that moment. And then the next guy would come in, you were still champion, but the next guy who pinned would become the interim champion. And then once all 6 guys were in, they would say, okay, 5 minutes starts now. And that's the end of the match. Last guy to get a pin is your champion. That's some fun stuff that we just don't get anymore. We don't get that fun, just ridiculous, who's going to be the champion after this type of moment. It really seems like we only get that in the Royal Rumble, which isn't a championship, but that's kind of our only moment of anybody can win. But I think something like this would really work for a tag team match, like a tornado tag, championship scramble match, stuff like that. I want to see it.
That really could have worked with the 24/7 title if you had just legitimately made it in the ring, something wacky, goofy like that.
Yeah.
Because that would be the pushback, right? Like, oh, this is kind of wacky, goofy. I don't need it. But the fun atmosphere of it, that would have fit well with that if they didn't make that.
Completely agree. Terrible. Bring back the cruiserweight title and do this, or European. We need another title on Raw, anyways.
That's a fair point. I'm going to go with one last one here. And I won't say we're ending it on a high note because this one is...
Can I guess it?
Yeah. This one is one that I like, but I don't know if most people like it, but go ahead.
Bra and panties. I'm joking. Somebody had to say it.
I'm
joking.
Go ahead.
Kind of. No. You don't like it, but you want to see it back. You don't like it, but
it's not like my favorite.
What can you give me a time frame of when it was last used? Just ballpark it.
SmackDown early. God, no. No, because I would have said early 2010s, but I feel like it's been done since then.
Do not give me a Punjabi prison match or anything like that. No, you're kidding me.
No.
Okay.
No.
That'd be bad. Go for it.
Mine's going to be just a qualifying type, but it's going to be a beat the clock.
Beat the clock, yeah. Hell yeah.
I really liked the beat the clock at the time. Looking back on it, I'm like, maybe that wasn't as cool as I thought, but I feel like there's so many people now on the roster. It kind of plays into the one you were just talking about that there's so many people. How can we get 6 people in here in a 10 to 15 minute segment?
Yeah.
This is the perfect way to, like you said, for a US or a IC title shot, some type of qualifying match, you could do it there.
Yeah, 100%. I would absolutely. I used to love the beat the clock. They used to do the beat the clock matches in order to qualify to get into the Elimination Chamber match that would qualify you to get a title match. That type of stuff is awesome. Any sort of quick force them to make a move quick. I like that stuff. Same thing with the championship scramble. So it's sort of the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then a match that I don't ever want to come back. I've never liked table matches. I've just absolutely, the only time a table match gimmick got me was when Big Show accidentally stepped through it. That was funny.
Yeah, who beat him?
Dolph Ziggler? No. Mm-mm. I don't know. Santino Marella? Mm-mm. It was someone like that, wasn't it?
No, it's a current champion.
The current champion? Wait, was it Cody?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
But was he Stardust?
No, he was. I think he might have been dashing Cody Rhodes at that point.
You're only smoking mirrors.
Yeah, really good theme song. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, I mean that's table matches. Oh, okay. If that's what we're gonna do, I'll end it on this one. I don't ever want to see a chairs match or a stairs match. You remember that one like TLC thing? They did a chairs and stairs. And
I think any sort of thing where they just gimmick like one weapon the entire time is just terrible. Like a ladder match is different because you're climbing it to get somewhere. But like I completely agree. Was it a stairs match? No, it was an Extreme Rules match where it was Mox or Ambrose versus Lesnar, but all he did was use chairs the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Yeah, it might have been a chairs, but yeah, Extreme Rules chairs, something like that. And the stairs match, I think, was like, God, like Rowan and Big Show or something like that. I don't know. It was two people that I was like, oh God, this is gonna be terrible.
Yeah. Also, while we're at it, bring back the steel elimination chamber. I'm done with the good-looking boxy one. Give me the big old round one that they used to kill each other in. I know it's not safe, but sometimes that makes it fun. Anyway, we'll stop blabbering. Let us know what type of matches you want to see come back, and hopefully we get confirmation Monday that we actually are getting a strap match. Mm-hmm. So that would be absolutely awesome. So let us know in the comments what you think, what matches that you would like to think or see in the future.
I'm gonna add one more real quick.
Okay.
Lumberjack.
Yeah, we can do Lumberjack.
Just a fun end to a Monday Night Raw sometime, huh?
We are just kind of missing that fun gimmick stuff, right? Yeah. Anyway, follow us on all of our socials at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts at Spotify, Apple, etc. And join our Discord, which is in the link tree in our bio. Come talk wrestling with us. We love to hear from you guys. Till next time, though, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.